A beauty queen went from being judged in a contest to facing a judge on murder charges. Peggy Sue Thomas says she fell for the wrong man. She sat down with 48 Hours correspondent Peter Van Sant, and here's a preview of tomorrow night's report.
How does a former beauty queen end up at the heart of a murder case?
I don't even know how to answer. I don't know how I ended up here.
Ms. Washington, Peggy Thomas.
In 2004, Peggy Sue Thomas, a former Ms. Washington, and her guitar-playing boyfriend, Jim Huden, were murder suspects in the death of 32-year-old Russell Douglas.
Nothing about this other than just a cold-blooded killing.
Detective Mark Plumberg said Douglas, a father of two, was found shot to death in his SUV on a remote road on Whidbey Island, Washington.
It was a massively traumatic wound.
Plumberg learned that Peggy Sue was good friends with the victim's estranged wife, Brenna Douglas. The investigation stalled until 7 months after the murder, when a bombshell tip came from musician Bill Hill. He said a fellow bandmate, Jim Huden, admitted to killing Russell Douglas.
I said, "What?" He says, "Yeah, got a gun and shot him in the head."
Hill said that Huden named Brenna Douglas and Peggy Sue as his accomplices.
I have no reason to want anybody dead. I am telling the truth. I have no reason to lie.
The motive? Investigators believe it was hundreds of thousands of dollars of life insurance to be split 3 ways.
Absolutely not true. Money's not that important to me.
Brenna Douglas had an alibi and has never been charged. So investigators focused on Huden and Peggy Sue. They got an unbelievable break when they found the murder weapon, a gun belonging to Jim Huden. Before he could be arrested for murder, Huden fled to Veracruz, Mexico, where he changed his name and played the blues. After more than 6 years as a fugitive, Jim Huden was arrested in June 2011. With Huden in custody, cops felt they had enough to arrest Peggy Sue Thomas for murder.
Peggy Sue Thomas looked away from the cameras as she was...
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
Peter Van Sant is with us. Okay, this guy, Huden, who's the rock star guy.
So looks a little like Doug the bounty hunter, too.
Yeah.
He wants to.
Yeah.
Well,
he's a wannabe.
I know he's been on the run for 6 years and apparently hasn't gotten a haircut in 6 years either. But so how's he able to perform?
You guys are vicious.
Well, how's he been able to perform live and not get caught?
He called himself Jim Martin. He grew his hair down to his shoulders, and he wore those sunglasses on stage. And he was on the run completely in the open in Veracruz, Mexico. No one ever noticed.
Wow. And authorities think the motivation for him was money? Just that simple?
Well,
just money?
he's a complicated guy, brilliant computer programmer, made millions selling a program to Microsoft. He once told somebody he wanted to know what it was like to kill another human being. People still aren't sure what his motive was. Cops think life insurance split 3 ways between those two and also the wife, allegedly, of the victim, but that has never been proven.
And it's interesting, the lyric that we showed, he's singing, "Somebody's going to jail."
Yeah, a couple people in this story went to jail.
Yeah, I see.
But,
All right.
and Peggy, they never quite got the goods.
All right, Peter, thank you. Great to see you. And you can see Peter's report, Dangerous Beauty, tomorrow night on 48 Hours. That's at 10, 9 Central, here on CBS.
Know what I'm doing Saturday night?